Hello, it's Toby Investigates. I'm Toby, and today we are going to be going through the Shimano road group set hierarchy. Now before we start crunching into all the technical data and the jargon, I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So let's take a look at exactly what a group set is. So looking at our example road bike here, we could break the componentry down into 4 key areas. That's the frame set, the group set, the wheels, and the finishing kit. Now the frame set is consisting of the frame and fork, the finishing kit, the handlebar, the stem, the seat post, and the seat, as highlighted here. The wheels, quite obvious, highlighted here again, and then the group set. Now the group set is the second most important thing after the frame and is often used to define the level of machining and professionalism that is in the bike. Let's take a look at the actual key components that make up the group set. So starting at the top, we have the dual integrated brake levers and gear shifters here on the handlebar. Next up, because this bike is a disc equipped bike, you will have the brake caliper and the disc rotor itself. But on a caliper road bike, you will have a caliper brake up at the top of the forks and on the seat stays of the frame. And so the largest section of group set on the bike is at the rear, and this is your gearing setup. You have the chain set here, the chain which connects to the cassette, that's the range of cogs which determine your gearing on the back, the rear mech or rear derailleur, the front mech, or otherwise known as the front derailleur, and the bottom bracket, that's the bearings inside your frame that allow the chain set to spin. It's best to think of the group set as all of the mechanical componentry on your bike that allow it to move forward. That's none of the contact points, not the wheels, and not the frame. So why do we even bother having a hierarchy of group sets? Why doesn't everyone just ride the same thing? Well, there are performance gains to be had. If you want the out and out best, then you're going to have to pay for it, and you will get the best materials, the best machining quality, and the lightest weight. However, if performance gains aren't your thing, perhaps you're just looking to get from A to B for as cheap as possible, then there is also a group set for you. Ignoring all the other brands like SRAM, Campagnolo, and all the other group sets for mountain bikes and things like that, let's take a look at the Shimano road group set hierarchy, starting at the cheapest, most affordable end with Claris. Now, Claris is the first entry-level group set that will be found on a lot of cheaper bikes. This is the first fully named group set, which means everything in the group set has the Claris name on it. This is in the hope that manufacturers won't downgrade certain parts on a bike. It will be a fully Claris bike. It's 8-speed, meaning there are 8 cogs on the cassette at the back, getting you from A to B with ease. Now say you want to spend a bit more, maybe you want a better feeling group set, you might want to have a look at Sora. Sora gains an extra cog on the back, it's 9-speed, and comes in varying different setups. You can go triple, double, or compact, and that's the number of chain rings on the front. Sora starts to feel a little bit more responsive, the gear shifters are a little bit smoother, and we've still got this window telling us which gear we are in. Sora will often be found on bikes in the sort of 600 to 850 pound range, and another thing about Sora is always painted black. Now moving on up our scale is Tiagra. Tiagra is starting to look like a bit more of the higher end group sets just in terms of aesthetics. Tiagra also gains yet another gear on the back, so we are now talking 10-speed. It's a bit more racing inspired, but Tiagra is still definitely, your everyday bike, your more sort of commuter-y group set. Tiagra is a great group set for that bike that you might be doing a couple of tough sportives on and commuting. It is an absolute workhorse of a group set. Now moving on to our next one, this is Shimano 105. 105 is the first entry-level racers group set. And it's called a racers group set because it has 11 gears on the back. Now 11 is the standard from here on up, all the way through to Ultegra and Dura-Ace, which we'll cover off in a minute. 105 won't be out of place on the start line of a race. This isn't to say that you can't use lower end group sets to race on, but this one is the first one specifically designed for racing. The crankset is going to be stiffer, and the braking and the gear selection is going to be a lot easier to actuate. Now 105 is a great all-rounder group set as well as a racers group set. This is the group set that I use because it is 11 speed, which means I can swap my wheels out easily, and it also comes with hydraulic disc braking, which is also featured on Ultegra, Dura-Ace, and funnily enough Tiagra, that's just been bought in. Moving on up yet again, we have another racing group set, and that is Ultegra. Now Ultegra is really starting to get towards the more expensive end of the spectrum, and this is because of superior materials, superior machining process. It just feels like it works a bit better. It's very easy to actuate the gears and the brakes. It's a very smooth group set. And now we're starting to see cassettes on the back getting smaller in terms of number of teeth on the cogs, and chain rings getting larger. This is because this group set is engineered more towards speed, going fast and racing. Lastly, if we want to step it up, once again, if we want the absolute best of the best at a price, we're looking at Dura-Ace. Dura-Ace is the absolute top level racers group set that all of the pros sponsored by Shimano use. Dura-Ace uses the best materials, the best manufacturing, and the lightest weight. There is no expense spared with Dura-Ace. Now with Ultegra and Dura-Ace, you can also get them in a Di2 configuration. You might see Ultegra Di2 and Dura-Ace Di2. Di2 is Shimano's electronic shifting hardware. This means that your gear changes will be more precise, they are actuated by a motor, powered by a battery, and everything is programmed from a head unit up top. Yes, your battery can run out, but if you're doing a ride with a bike with Di2, chances are you're not going to be touring the world. Chances are you're more concerned with going as fast as humanly possible. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Those are the Shimano Road group sets. I hope that kind of made sense. There is a wealth of information out online, so if none of that did make sense, you can find more if you give it a Google. If you have any questions on Shimano Road group sets, or any other road group sets, or any other mountain bike group sets, please leave them in the comments section below. I'll do my best to answer them, or go into one of our stores, talk to one of our colleagues. They will be able to help you. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, do enjoy the ride.